Imagine if one morning you woke up and Amazon had its own army, not security guards, an actual army. It could declare war, collect taxes, rule cities, and even overthrow governments. Sounds ridiculous. But 400 years ago, one company did exactly that. It wasn't a country, it wasn't an empire, it was a business. Its name was the East India Company. At its peak, it controlled millions of people, commanded one of the largest armies on earth, and generated unimaginable wealth. Then, it collapsed. This is the unbelievable story of the company that conquered India. The year was 1600. Europe had become obsessed with Asia. Spices were worth fortunes. Silk was a luxury. Tea was becoming addictive. Whoever controlled these goods controlled enormous wealth. England wanted a piece of that treasure. So Queen Elizabeth I signed a single document that changed history forever. She gave a group of merchants permission to trade with the East. Nobody imagined that this tiny trading company would one day become more powerful than entire kingdoms. At first, the East India Company behaved exactly like any other business. Its ships sailed for months across dangerous oceans. Its merchants negotiated with local rulers. Its warehouses stored spices, cotton, silk, and tea. Business was booming. Everyone was happy until something changed. The company realized something terrifying. Trading made money. Controlling trade made even more. Back then, India wasn't a single country. It was filled with powerful kingdoms, rival rulers, and political conflicts. The East India Company didn't invent these conflicts. It simply learned how to profit from them. One king needed weapons, another wanted money, someone else wanted allies. The company happily provided all three. Slowly, almost silently, a business started playing politics. Then came the moment that changed everything, the Battle of Plassey. It lasted only a few hours, but those few hours reshaped the next 200 years of history. Instead of winning through superior strength, the company won through betrayal. Secret deals were made. Allies switched sides. The ruler of Bengal was defeated. And suddenly, the East India Company wasn't just selling products anymore. It owned one of the richest regions on earth. Money flooded into company headquarters in London. Investors celebrated. Share prices exploded. The company became richer every year, but it wanted more, much more. So it did something no business had ever done before. It built its own army, not hundreds of soldiers, not thousands. Eventually, more than 260,000 men fought under the East India Company's command. That's larger than many national armies of that time. Think about that. A corporation, with its own military. From that moment, the company stopped behaving like a company. It collected taxes, made laws, appointed officials, punished rebels, expanded territory, started wars. Imagine receiving a tax notice from Amazon. That's how strange this situation really was. Millions of people were no longer being governed by a king. They were being governed by shareholders. For years, everything seemed unstoppable. Ships carried tea across oceans. Factories produced textiles. Fortunes were made overnight. London became richer. The company became more powerful. And almost everyone believed this empire would last forever. But history has a habit of punishing overconfidence. As profits increased, so did greed. Taxes became heavier. Corruption spread through the company. Many local industries suffered. Then tragedy struck. In Bengal, millions of people died during one of the worst famines in history. Yet taxes continued. Revenue still mattered more than human lives. The company's reputation never truly recovered. Surprisingly, the richest company in the world was secretly running out of money. Wars were expensive. Managing an empire was expensive. Corruption was expensive. The company that seemed unstoppable was drowning in debt. Eventually, even the British government had to step in and rescue it. Imagine needing taxpayers to save the richest corporation on earth. History was repeating itself centuries before the phrase, "too big to fail," even existed. Then came the final explosion. The year was 1857. Anger had been building for decades. Soldiers rebelled, kings rebelled, ordinary people rebelled. What began as a military mutiny quickly turned into one of the biggest uprisings against company rule. The East India Company survived the rebellion, but only just, and Britain had finally seen enough. The British government made a decision. No private company should ever control an entire country again. In 1858, the Crown took direct control of India. The East India Company lost everything it had spent centuries building. Its armies disappeared. Its political power vanished. Its empire was over. A few years later, the company itself quietly disappeared from history. Today, the East India Company no longer exists, but its impact can still be seen across the world. It changed global trade, it transformed India, it helped build the British Empire, and it became the greatest example of what happens when profit grows faster than accountability. The East India Company didn't just sell goods, it sold power. And for nearly 3 centuries, that power changed the course of history forever.